Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wow, Lottie, I love it, love it, love it. Actually, some fantastic pictures in the background. Who are these people in the background? First and foremost, I want to say, who are
This
these people?
this is Arctic Monkeys here, and then I've got. I don't know if you can. Can you see him up there? I don't know if you can.
No,
I've
I
got
can't, I
my
can't.
um there up there.
Okay, fantastic. So you got those discs there. Who's the disc? Someone won the who's that? What's that for? That those discs? That's some kind of like a sale. What's that? You buy that? Some kind of
This,
yeah, there's
this.
discs up there. What's that? Right in the back. Yeah,
That's
what's that?
Beatles. The Beatles, and
Oh
there's
my
like loads
gosh.
of like.
Okay.
Pardon?
Where'd you get that from?
I got it from like this. Well, my uncle got me it for Christmas, but it's like from like a marketplace where
Yeah,
near
yeah,
I
I
live.
thought as much. Yeah, so that's a
Yeah.
collector's item, is it?
Yeah, I think so. I've got another one in my bedroom upstairs.
Fantastic,
So
fantastic.
yeah.
Well, you know what? It's impressive to see. So this is your house, is it? This is obviously you're in your
Yeah,
house.
I've got. Yeah.
That's like your bedroom or something.
No, this is where I like practice for gigs and
Oh
record and
wow,
do stuff.
wow! And you say you play instruments, and everything else.
Yeah, I've got a ukulele. I've got guitars
Wow,
up, but I don't play them yet. And
amazing.
I've
No,
got a
seriously.
keyboard.
No, because obviously for me, I got so excited straight away when I see guitars in the background because I just love seeing people. Obviously, anyone playing an instrument now. You're 17 years old,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal, and you're playing an instrument and you're doing music and you're doing great. So, and obviously we're going to talk more about it as well. But you know what? All like I said, what I wanted to ask you before was that basically, what have you been doing today? Because the sun, it's outside, it's so sunny.
Is it
You're
sunny
indoors.
there?
Yeah. What's it like in
Oh, it's
Pontefract?
not sunny here. We had like a thunderstorm.
Oh wow. All right. I just
Yeah.
came out from having a suntan with my missus. Shouldn't tell you that, but that's
Oh,
what I've been up. So I've been outside getting a suntan.
it's well lucky.
I need one. I absolutely need one. But you know what? Once again, thank you so much for
It's
agreeing
all
to this
right.
interview. Okay. You're Lottie. You're a
Yes.
fantastic singer-songwriter, which we're going to find out more about in a minute anyway.
Mhm.
I want to thank your mum, Sarah, for making this possible. Without your mum, we won't be having this conversation. Because you're 17 years old, we've got to get your permission from your mother. So that's obviously how it goes.
Yeah.
Got to thank Torre as well. Okay, because Torre and Terry Seed are the ones that helped us set this
Yeah.
interview up. So an absolute pleasure, okay, to be here today talking to you. And why I'm so excited because you have a phenomenal voice and a phenomenal
Thank you.
sound, which again we will talk more about later.
Yes.
But what I want to ask you, first and foremost, the first question I want to ask you is, what's it been like being 17 during this pandemic? Because obviously I don't know anything about what it's like for anyone else other than myself. What's it been like for you?
Well, at the start, I wasn't really that bothered because I was missing out on my GCSEs and like I was just at home and it was all right. But like the further it got in, I was like, God, when is this like going to be over? And it just kept dragging on. And obviously, I missed all my friends and I missed going out with my friends and going doing things. But then I was like, I'm actually going to do something. So I wrote a song in lockdown, which was good. Um, and I started playing a bit more piano and like working on some skills, and I was getting like a set list together for gigs. So I did that.
Wow. So this has
Yeah.
been a great opportunity for you to kind of like hone your skills.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, wow. Well, for me, obviously, I've been interviewing people. I mean, I wouldn't be on the Zoom. I would never have done Zoom. For me,
Yeah.
I normally want to get a camera. I don't want to be normally, ordinarily for me, I don't even want to be in the interviews. I just want to be the guy with the camera, putting you in the main focus and have me out of it. But obviously, people like to have both of us in it. So that's why I'm
Yeah.
doing this. So it's been a massive change for me, to be fair.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to ask you, so what's the most important thing to you as an artist? You're 17 years old. I know
Yeah.
you're already involved in music. What's the most important thing to you as an artist? Right now, what do you think about more than anything else?
Well, I love my songs to actually mean something to who I'm singing them to, and not just to my audience, but to me as well. Like, if they mean something to me, then they're going to mean something to my audience or make them
Mm,
feel some sort of way.
wow.
And I think that in this, like I'd say I sing like soul. So I like, I think soul means a lot, and whenever you listen to it, it's never not meaningful.
Mm,
And that's one thing that I really like to draw from it.
wow. No, no, no. That's really special. I mean, I
Yeah.
love it. The idea for me, obviously, I just love songs that are quite deep.
Yeah.
You know, you got a lot of depth, and the fact that you care about that more than anything else. I mean, obviously, people could have said anything. You could have said anything like, I don't know, it's not. I just want to get loads and loads of sales. I want to do this. I want to do that. But you're more
Yeah.
concerned about the musicality.
Mhm.
The essence of what you're creating, and that's kind of so important. That's really important. For obviously, if we're trying to talk about protecting the music industry and the future of artists and stuff like that, you want artists that truly love making music.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really great. Can I say something quickly? I can't. Can you change your camera? Yeah. So
Is that
that
there?
way. Yeah. Just so I can get more of your
Get my
because obviously I
shoulder.
can't really see properly. So you got a piano in the background as well.
Yeah.
Do you play piano as well?
I play a few things on it, but like I'm not amazing.
No, but
But
enough. But the fact is you can play piano. That's you can play a few
yeah,
chords.
it's good enough. It's like good enough to write a song, and then I'll take it to someone, and they'll help me like produce it and stuff. So it's kind of how it
Good, good.
works.
Well, you know what? For me, obviously, at this point, no one in this interview has actually heard your music yet. Maybe there might be a bit at the beginning of the interview, but when they finally get to hear you, what you're about, and hear your songs and your
Yeah.
voice, I think people are going to love it. So I wanted to know, when did you first realize you had this great voice?
Well, I was actually in primary school, and I was asked to be like a main part in the end of school play. And my mum and dad, I didn't tell my mum and dad about it, and they came and they listened to me sing, and they were like, "Since when could she sing?" Um, and then like a couple of years later, we decided to do something about it, and then I involved myself with a few people, and started getting singing lessons and things. And I was never like growing like I was never that into it at first because I was like, I don't know if this is what I want to do. But the more I got into it, I started writing my original songs, and then I had my first single, "Lie to You," when I was 14, and that was kind of when I realised I didn't want to just sing covers. I wanted to sing originals as well. Um,
Mm,
and
good.
then when I really realised that it was fully what I wanted to do was when I was in the open mic competition, and I
Mm,
got through to the final. And it's weird because when you're like stood there and you see everyone actually enjoying what you're singing,
mm,
and it's the same when you go to gigs when you see people actually enjoying you. It makes you think, I make them feel like that, so I want to.
mm.
It's what I want to do.
Fantastic. No, it's amazing. So when you basically write a song, do you always write from the heart, or do you ever think about writing a statement song?
Um, Not I definitely write from the heart most of the like most of the time, and if it's not from my own experiences, it's from my like friends' experiences or someone else that I know's experience. Just because I think it makes it feel more raw and real. I sang the one I wrote in lockdown. It's called "Price to Pay." It's about one of my friends as well, so that's where I get it from the heart.
Well, that's good. People often say that, how can a 17-year-old person know anything about life? But the fact that
Yeah,
you're saying that you're writing from people's experiences too, so you're learning about other people's experiences, and you clearly you're understanding that these things, whatever they're going through, kind of can be put to pen to paper and turned into a song. So that and I love the songs. So what again, wait for the audience to hear the stuff, but I love
yeah.
the songs.
Thanks.
So who are your main influences?
Um, Otis Redding, Oliver Otis Redding, Bill Withers, Al Green. I think my mum might have actually told you about a story to do with Al Green. My uncle listened a lot to him as when I was growing up, so I love that. Anne Marie, I love Anne Marie. Um, and a local band, they're called New Familiar. They just changed their name, which is why I had to think. Um, Mostly soul singers, Aretha Franklin, Etta James. So yeah,
Do you know what? You know, a lot of people are going to say when they hear your voice that you sound a lot like Amy Winehouse.
yes,
Is that a comparison that you can accept?
I accept it. I see why it. But as I was like growing up, obviously when Back to Black the album came out, I was only 3,
Mm,
so she wasn't an influence as I was growing up. I didn't even know who she was when she died. I think I was 9, so I didn't even I was listening to JLS, One Direction, and all them. So I'd say that I feel like we had the same influences,
Mm.
me and Amy Winehouse,
Mm.
which is probably rubbed off. But I think as when people turn around to me and go, "Oh, you sound like Amy Winehouse," I then started listening to her, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I actually see that thing." You just got to be careful with it sometimes, because sometimes I get compared to a lot.
Yeah, but you know what? My thoughts is that basically the world got it wrong. I mean, I actually met Amy Winehouse, so
Yeah.
personal experience
Oh,
with
so
Amy Winehouse.
yeah.
And she was an amazing person. You know, she's very forthright. She said her piece. You know, she was a strong character.
Mhm.
But my thoughts are is that basically people, you know, the world got it wrong with Amy Winehouse. And I'm like, well, when I heard your voice, literally, when I heard your voice, I was like, you know what? Wow, here's an opportunity for the world to get it right with you.
Yeah,
You know, so
that's good one, yeah.
no, so that was great because seriously, you got this. You know, I said I'm not going to give anything away. People can see how excited I am. They can see that and they know me. You know, I'm an artist
Yeah.
myself, and I've been an artist in the past. So it's not all artists don't tend to get excited by people's voices, but when
Yeah.
you do, you know, and I'm learning. The more I'm doing these interviews, the more I'm meeting these people. I'm meeting people like yourself. I'm just getting excited about the music and the future of music. So it's quite a wonderful place to be for me. And I'm like, wow, you know what, you think you're great, but then you're like, wow, there are great people out there, so much so, you know, you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is just it's like a shop, isn't it? Like just go to the shop and get all the chocolates.
Yeah, it's like when you listen to someone that you really like, you're like, how is that even possible for them to sing like that? Yeah.
When I told you I didn't want to see you sad, when I told you and we knew it would be this way, when I told you, and that tear rolled down your face, when I told you you made me happy in some ways, when I told you this is gonna be this way, when I told you you could never break my heart. And every road you travel, I'll be there. Don't be scared. I'll be the light that guides you in the dead of the night.
So you live in Pontefract, okay?
Yes.
I live in London. What
Mhm.
kind of social issues do you have in Pontefract? And I'm going to be more clear about that. Here we have basically, you know, knife crimes in issues. There's a bit of a problem here. We have protests going on. What things concern young people in Pontefract? And where is Pontefract? First of all, it's a lovely name, but where is it?
It's near Leeds,
Okay.
West Yorkshire. I'd say there's probably a lot of unemployment, and it kind of leads to like petty crimes. I wouldn't say in Pontefract that there's a lot of like really bad, serious crimes, but if you went into Leeds and stuff, you will find like gangs and stuff, which do worry. Like because I go to college in York and I have to go through Leeds to get to York, and sometimes on a night there's a lot of like drunk people coming from, which is an issue. Pontefract actually has like the most pubs in like West Yorkshire, and like if you go into town, there's a lot of drunken people, which is not bad being drunk. Like don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's like it's a bit overwhelming with how many there is.
I can imagine. But do you feel that basically you doing music kind of helps steer you away from, you know, that kind of being involved in things that you may otherwise not have been, antisocial things that you may not have got, well, potentially could have got involved in?
Yeah, I think because I went to a performing arts school as well, like we were very like closed off from other I don't know how to explain it, but like we were closed off from things that maybe the other half of the school that weren't performing arts were exposed to. Yeah, I think some of it's weird because in the music industry, it has like a long line of people dying at a young age of like drugs and stuff like that, which Amy Winehouse, and then there's Elvis and Michael Jackson and all these, and you've got to be careful of what you get yourself involved with, like a lot.
Especially in rap music in America. You know, again, that's a real,
Yes,
you know, you hear
definitely.
in so many stories. You know, DMX died recently because of his involvement in drugs, you know, drug abuse. So there's loads. I mean, I could go through loads of names, you know, of people, sadly. And I think it's the pressures, isn't it? The pressures of the industry. So if you
Yeah,
couple that with everything else, I mean, we're talking about social issues separately, but the fact is, as an artist, if you are, if you're, you know, if you are struggling for any reason with mental health, anything like that, and or you
go
just
straight
finding
to
the whole
drugs. Yeah,
experience too much, you don't have a strong team around you. It's very easy to kind of get drawn into it, and
definitely.
that's one of the concerns I would find for anybody. I'm so glad that you've got, you know, a great kind of, you know, foundation that, you know,
Yeah.
and I spoke to your mum. She's a lovely woman, so I
Mhm.
can see how much of a rock she is for you. So
Yeah, she
you know,
is.
you're quite lucky in that regard.
It's, you know, grime, you know, grime music, right? Yeah. It's like they speak about killing people, but they speak about it because it's what they actually do. Like, it's what they actually do. And to me, it's just crazy how some of it's even allowed to be played sometimes. I'm just like, why?
You know, seriously, that's a subject that I have to get into with, you know, at some point. I'm hoping I get an opportunity to speak to some of these grime artists to ask them that
Yeah, I'd
very
like to
question.
actually.
Yeah, you know, and obviously, I mean, I don't know, but you know, I'm learning lots about it, about the culture and everything else, and I've got personal experiences in that culture, so you know, I'd have quite a lot to ask them about.
Mhm.
But anyway, so on that note, what would you change about the world if you could change the world? Two things you could change about the world. What would it be?
Um, I think especially in my generation, I feel like people are really quick to belittle people very quickly, and now with social media as well. If they see one thing that's wrong, if they don't like a girl's makeup, or I just feel like I wish people would just let people be themselves, and I wish that people weren't so quick to jump on how bad something looks on you and just live your life. I just wish they'd let people live their lives. And it's and with social media as well, that's another issue. It's like I think most of the problems now are caused with social media and people's opinions on things, and it just it really annoys me.
Well, you could write a song about it one day.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I know. I think one of the things that Amy Winehouse did was that one speech. She basically took a lot of influences from rap music, how direct rap artists were with their lyrics, and I think that's one of the things that she used in Back to Black, and I think that was a bit of a difference. I think a lot of the time, and even myself, I shroud a lot of my meaning, you know, within the songs. I'd come up with different things, and just like double entendres and double meanings
Yeah,
and whatever
yeah.
it may be, hidden messages in the songs. So, but Amy Winehouse is very direct, and that seems to have worked for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it definitely works when you get information from like different things and put it into your songwriting.
Yeah. Well, okay. You've got basically this again. Just, I'm sure at this point now we've played your music, so everyone's going to be
Yes.
loving it.
I hear your favorite subject that hums around my head. You know yourself so well. Try looking out instead. We're never really there until we realize it's all the memory. No, no. I love you so. I just can't let you go. The stupid things you say don't mean nothing to me. But you're a waste of space that puts me in my place. I want you to move on. You don't mean nothing, nothing to me.
So you've got the festivals coming. I noticed that you're basically looking towards the festivals quite a lot.
Mhm.
You know, getting yourself ready for gigs and so forth. But are you thinking also about, you know, or what do you think is key, the best way to do it? Is it doing the festivals, or is it basically gaining an audience on the internet or from radio? What's the best way to push your music, you think?
I like doing both. Like I do both. Like I think festivals are really helpful to actually sell your EP or your CD or your T-shirt or whatever you want to sell. And obviously live music is totally different to watching a little video on the internet. And I think live music gets people excited. And so I think I like doing live music because I think it's a great way to get more fans and get a fan base. But with radio play, obviously, you might reach a bigger audience with radio play. And the internet's really good on promotion and sell all of that. So I think both, because I've gained both fans from both of the internet and gigging and fun and festivals and stuff.
Great. Well, we've probably heard your single by now. All right.
Yes.
And we'll probably get excited. I'm sure I'll put more of your music. I'm sure on the board, I'm going to get as much of your music as possible and put it on here in little snippets.
Yeah.
Okay. But what's next for Lottie? You've got the single. What's next for Lottie? Is it an EP? Is it an album?
Hopefully an EP very soon. Hopefully in the next couple of months or maybe weeks, hopefully. Because obviously it's been delayed because of COVID, which is really annoying. I've got one last song to record and then it's all going to be done and out. And then I'll just start working on more songs for another album or EP. I have been writing some more songs in between. So hopefully it'll be out very, very soon.
Good. Well, hopefully everyone's going to get and buy it, and I hope they will, because they're going to love the EP. They're going to love what you're doing. I really do. I'm excited about it. And, you know, I'm going to go and play your song again and again, because I have been playing it again and again. I've been playing it to my friends and saying, look, check this stuff out. There's this 17-year-old girl called Lottie. She's absolutely amazing. She reminds me of Amy Winehouse, but here we go. We've got another opportunity to get it right with her. So I'm very excited about your stuff. And I know everyone else is going to be, you know, excited by it too. But there's one last question I'm going to ask you. All right. It's I feel obviously a lot of people are going to hear your stuff and realize that it's deep rooted in Black music. And I know you mentioned something about it earlier before. Okay, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think there should be any issue with people doing whatever. There shouldn't be any restrictions on the music you make. I mean, I personally do whatever, rock, pop. Some say my music's like, you know, I sing like a white guy. You sing like a Black girl. I mean, do you accept that you say that you sing like a Black girl, regardless of whatever? Do you accept that your music's come from, you know, if I think about a name of an artist, Dinah Washington, she's like a jazz R&B singer. I know you've got influence, but do you accept that that's your voice is going to be compared to those things?
Yeah, I accept it, and I think there should never be an issue with it, because I think people, not just me, but people should be able to sing how they want, and just because that's how they sing. Like they can't change how they sing, and I think because of the influences I've grown up with and what my parents and people I've surrounded myself with, that's probably one of the main reasons why I sing like I do. Because I've listened to music, Black rooted music, for like years, even as like a 2-year-old. So I think it's acceptable, because I think there's some artists I listen to and I'm like, oh no, they're white, and then I look at them, I'm like, whoa, no. So I think it's great that you have like, I think it's a like kind of a good selling point in a way.
Well, it's definitely a selling point, but it's also a compliment. Would you see it as a compliment?
I see it as a big compliment, actually.
And a recognition of Black music and the sound and the Black sound too.
Definitely.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Lottie. We absolutely appreciate you being here, and people are going to check your stuff out. And I just want to thank everyone for watching this, viewing it. If you want to do a plug to anyone, Barmy, feel free to do so right now.
I'd like to say thanks to everyone for watching, and a big thanks to Paul Fletcher and Dylan, Charles, for helping me just get my act together and help me with all my producing and all my songs and stuff. It's great.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. And I want to say thank you to Ettore for basically hooking this up, because Ettore's the man. He's the guy, you know, he's the man with a plan. And he says, Mark Anthony, I found this artist. You're going to love her. You got to interview her. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, Ettore. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, he was great. I'm glad he found me, to be honest.
Absolutely, he's a fantastic guy. So you know what? Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and enjoy the
You
sun.
too.
Hopefully, the sun will be in Pontefract soon.
I hope so.
Keep on practicing, keep on writing songs. Lottie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want you to